What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today we are taking a look at the all-new Porsche Macan, which is now electric. Well, this new one is, but apparently in some countries they were still selling the old one alongside the new one. We in the Netherlands only get the electric version now, so today I'm going to find out what it is like, what it's like to drive. I'll show you the spec, the exterior, the interior, and then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. Now, let's take a look at the design and the spec, because this is the introduction of that new type of headlight. You also get that on the Panamera now, so a little bit of a chunky headlight. And also the front end, very aggressive actually on this Macan Turbo. This is the most powerful version you can get. And as you can see, we get a sort of a splitter there, which is quite pronounced. It's pretty aggressive looking. We've got the headlights down here, and then the daytime running lights and the indicators up there. So this is actually the headlight unit. And then you've got some vents here on the side to direct air outside the wheels, and it has these flaps down here that can open or close depending on the cooling needs. You also get the new Turbonite badging, so this color basically is called Turbonite. It's only for the turbo, and you get it on the key as well, and some details on the interior. This is also Turbonite. Wheels, kind of an aero optimized wheel here. This is a 255 section tire, and it's a 21-inch wheel. Behind that, regular Porsche brakes. Nice logos there as well. Bit of a black surround for the wheel wells and for the splitter. More Turbonite down there, Turbonite here around the windows. We've got a little panoramic roof as well. And then at the rear, it's quite a sleek car to look at. Also, you get these little vents that kind of make it wider at the rear. It has grown slightly in all directions, but it's still not super big. It is a little bit more aerodynamic, I would say, compared to the old Macan. Of course, it has to be a little bit more slippery for efficiency. You've got the big LED bar running across, a little bit of a diffuser going on as well, and a turbo badge. But it's an important car for Porsche, because they sold, I think, like 800,000 Macans, which is a lot. Apparently they sold just over 750,000 911s since the 964. So 964, 993, 996, 997, 991, 992, 750-ish, and then Macan 800. So it's a very, very important car for them, and they want to do this right. So yeah, let's find out. So we've got quite a nice boot as well, with some more down here. Oh, that's a Bose subwoofer probably. And then you get some more storage up here, which is also not bad. Fits quite a big bag or your charging cable. And then inside you get a new style of interior. So compared to the Taycan, I actually prefer this. I think this looks a bit more premium, and yeah, I would be happy to pay a little bit more for this compared to the Taycan, which I always find a little bit underwhelming, especially that display on the center console for the climate and stuff. I think this looks much, much better. We still have a physical volume button, which is great. And we've got temperature buttons as well. So this is perfect, you know. This is all haptic, so you actually push something, it's clear to read. That is how you do it. And then we have 3 displays on the dash. So the regular one over there that we have in most Porsches nowadays. Then this one also works perfectly, responds well, and it's easy to operate. And then we have, I think this is an optional passenger display, so you can use this to watch YouTube, or it has some other apps like Amazon and Spotify, but you can also get like a sports chrono thing, like another dashboard, or you can play games and stuff like that. So when you're driving and you're trying to watch YouTube, you can only do it from this seat. I can't watch that from here because of the pixelation. But this is pretty nice if you want to watch something on here. But the rest of the functions is, you know, not really an addition. Seats, very nice with a turbo badge as well, and a nice steering wheel with the Turbo Night accents again and a driving mode button. And yeah, it's nice, thin rimmed, simple steering wheel. I like that. And this being the turbo, you have the most power, of course. So this is 639 horsepower in overboost. So you only have that when you use launch control. And it ranges from 360 in the regular Macan, which is rear wheel drive. Then you have the Macan 4 with 408 horsepower. You've got the 4S with 516, and then the turbo with 639. 100 kilowatt hour battery, 800 volts, dual motor. Yeah, that's it. 3.3 seconds to 100 and 260 top speed. So let's head out for a drive. We'll go for Sport Plus mode, which means you also get some fake sound. You can turn it off if you want, if you don't like that. We've got air suspension as standard on the turbo, and I think rear wheel steering is also as standard on the turbo. And especially that rear wheel steering is very pronounced. It's super weird. It feels like a bit, I don't know, a bit like a shopping cart sometimes. But it does mean that it turns in really good. So it's very, very agile. And of course, because you have such a low center of gravity, it's actually very nice to drive on a B road. It's nice to drive in general. You do feel that it's a little bit more, it has a little bit more movement in the body compared to a Taycan, and I don't mind that per se. I think it's a very comfortable car. You can actually drive it quite hard on a nice road, but it won't stick as well as a Taycan. So let's do a launch. We're in Sport Plus mode already, so that means that the air suspension drops down and the throttle response is a bit more aggressive, and you have launch control. Foot on the brake, full throttle. 3.3 is what it's supposed to do, and that is also what we've measured. So you can actually turn off traction control with a physical button, which is great. I don't know if it's... Okay, I see you, Porsche. That is pretty cool. So you have a more powerful rear motor compared to a Macan 4. Yeah, so that means that you also have more power going to the rear. You also have torque vectoring. So wow, that is actually pretty nice. I was not expecting it to go that easy. And as always, it drives so nice. It's a great car to live with. As a daily, if you have the right charging infrastructure, that is. Wow, that is pretty impressive. So it can charge up to 270 kilowatts if you have the right charger. You know, again, 10 to 80% in 21 minutes. If circumstances are ideal and the charger works and the car works and everything works, but unfortunately that is not always the case. So we also spent like an hour charging it up from, I think, like 48% to 80%. So yeah, it didn't work that well, but in ideal circumstances it should do 10 to 80 in 20 minutes. What the hell? What the hell are they doing? And someone actually at Porsche was like, okay, let's have all those soccer moms that are buying Macans. They also need to have some fun. Let's just send all the power to the rear. That is properly impressive and fun. So yeah, kudos Porsche. You know, electric cars, they're not as fun to drive as regular cars in general, but stuff like this does make it a little bit more fun at least. So yeah, good job. But before we hit the Autobahn, I want to tell you about Petrol Vibes. This is their newest edition, a neon track silhouette, basically, with all the numbers and names of corners, the different sectors. It looks absolutely amazing here in our workshop. They still also have the regular wall art car silhouettes. the 2mm thick steel that has been laser cut. Their designs are just gorgeous, and you can also submit your own car to their website and they will make a custom silhouette of your car with all your accessories, your modifications. It looks absolutely insane. We've had one made of a Toyota Supra recently and it is just gorgeous. We've got a lot of BMWs here in the workshop. We've got a couple cool cars up in the sim room as well. And if you want one of these things, holidays are coming up. Perfect gift for yourself or any other petrol head. Make sure you check out Petrol Vibes and use code AUTOTOPNL10 for a 10% discount. Enjoy the video. So let's hit the Autobahn. Top speed, as I said, is 260 kilometers an hour. Here we go, full throttle. And of course it has no trouble reaching that with this power. Also, also, side note, it has, I think these are Bridgestone tires. They are very quiet. It's a very, very quiet tire, which is really nice, you know, on regular driving, but also at these speeds, it's super nice. .270 on the speedo there. So let's have a look at the performance. So the fake sound also, it's not too loud, it's there. Just to give you an idea that something is happening, but it's not over the top, I think, which I like. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good car. I don't think it's particularly good looking, but I think driving wise, just as a daily, going around town, also on the Autobahn, I think it's a very good car. It's super comfy, it's quiet. It drives well. You apparently have a sort of a drift mode, which is just great. So it also has a completely flat floor and stuff like that. So it is a big step going, you know, all electric with the Macan. I was kind of expecting them to sort of name it something else instead of Macan, but yeah, this kind of works. It's not super spacious. That's also maybe a little bit of a drawback, because you can see how far this seat is to the front, and that you need that. Yeah, very good testing there. That's what you need to fit an adult in the rear. So it's not super spacious. If you want like a big practical SUV, they've got the Cayenne. So that's not this. This is more like a little bit more compact around cities and stuff. I think that's also pretty nice. That's it for this review. Hope you enjoyed it. It's a good car. I like the interior especially. I think all this is much more premium and just more luxurious than the Taycan. So I think they did good there. It's a big step up. Also electric drivetrain and stuff. Yeah, it just worked well. It's nice to drive and it goes very sideways. So good job, Porsche. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out that video, that playlist, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.